Welcome to
Escaping the Motorhome.
Roads are closed, massive amounts of works. We can't get into the car park and it's traffic chaos.
But man, oh man, weekend, Christmas, it's really, really busy.
Just hope they're going to let us in because we're about 20 minutes late now.
Just proving I can't be trusted. Hello and welcome to Escaping the Motorhome. My name's Daz and this is B. We're a home education, home working family who recently bought a motorhome to go on great adventures. So join us as we take the family on some wild walks, some wild and not so wild camping, explore our surroundings and try new things whilst getting to grips with living and working in our new small space. We experience the highs and lows of motorhome life. And if you enjoy our channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. After a wonderful couple of days with our friends in Aberystwyth, we made our way slow and steady down through the Brecons to Cardiff.
Well, we think there's snow-topped mountains over there. So we've just pulled up into this car park in Cardiff that has been recommended for us, or for motorhomes, and we're just hoping we can get a space. It looks pretty good so far. So you remember the name of this car park, Daz?
Sophia Gardens Pay and Display.
So Sophia Gardens Pay and Display. If you're looking to come to Cardiff, perhaps to see the Winter Wonderland or visit the castle or do some Christmas shopping, this is great for motorhomes. We can see somebody's already done it, but we just don't want to hang over too much, so you've got to park really carefully because you can get fined if you're not within the bays.
There's a lot of trees. There's a lot of trees everywhere.
Do you want me to get out and guide you?
I'm just watching this tree on my rear view mirror there.
Don't want to be over it, dear. Don't want to get a parking fine. Right, so here we are, Sophia Car Park. I'm guessing this will be far busier at a weekend, but we are here on a Wednesday. So yes. Boys are playing a quick game of Back to Hogwarts and I'm doing a quick meal. Now, microwave rice is really useful for when you want to do something really quickly, but if you don't have a microwave, you can put it in a pan. Now, Andy's going to have last night's dinner that he didn't get to sample because he chose to have pizza instead. So he's having something nice and healthy with lentils and sweet corn and some of the wholemeal rice. And then I'm going to mix our rice with some vegetables and some stock. And it will be very basic, but it will be edible. Not bad. Where are you?
Well, this has been quite an interesting experiment. So, while everyone else is out having fun at Cardiff Castle, I'm in the van doing a little bit of work. So I've got my laptop here, my medicinal tea, and a little bit of back support. But I'm also, because the battery was running low after a Zoom meet, I'm also now plugged in to, that would have been very silly, wouldn't it? Lift that up, let's move that there. Now plugged in via the hatch here to the battery and inverter that I showed you before, and it seems to be working just fine. So I reckon via the Bluetooth app there was about 37 amp hours there. Probably enough to see me through 2 full days on the laptop. So I've only got today to worry about, and then there's probably enough charging there for another day. After that, I don't know what I'm going to do. Hopefully I'll have some solar panels and the solar charger, and I won't need to think about recharging a battery ever again. I almost said free electricity, except you've got to pay for the equipment first. So maybe nothing's ever free. But once that's paid off, then it's free electricity.
So we left Daz to his work, walked over the River Taff and through Bute Park to get to Cardiff Castle and the town centre. They were preparing their illuminations for the evening. Now, next to Cardiff Castle, we saw the iconic clock tower, and it features 3-metre tall statues, each representing planets and signs of the zodiac. The town was bustling with Christmas shoppers, and the decorations around the town were impressive. We were excited to see how the lights would look in the evening. Inside the grounds of the castle was the Norman 12-sided keep. Preparations for Winter Wonderland were taking shape, but we wanted to find the tunnels that were used during World War II. Right, we're just going into the wartime tunnels. the air raid siren.
They make good soup.
Potatoes do make good soup. Look, it's Dr. Carrot, the children's best friend. The 12-sided keep is known as a shell keep as it protects the small buildings within, and it was built in the 12th century. Exhausted. We're just going into the keep. Wow. We loved looking at the graffiti of yesteryear. It must have taken them forever. After admiring the beautiful clouds and having some fun in the castle grounds with the stocks, it was time to go into the castle apartments. The castle apartments were like a work of art. Stunning woodwork, marble, stained glass and opulent wall coverings left us all lost for words. It was all thanks to the 3rd Marquis of Bute, who worked with the art architect William Burgess. Both men were passionate about the past and transformed the place into what you see today. Well, we'd spent many hours lost in this medieval style dream, and it was time to meet up with Daz before enjoying the city's huge Winter Wonderland, situated in the castle grounds and at City Hall. Look, it's Sammy. Well, it's not Sammy, but a very distant relative of Sammy. But just before we left, we had a very quick loop around the Firing Line Museum, all part of the ticket price with very friendly staff.
After B and the gang had finished exploring the castle, I met up with them and we headed off into town to see Cardiff's lights and the Winter Wonderland.
It did feel very magical wandering around the illuminations, and I think the freezing temperatures had put everyone off. However, in Winter Wonderland, the rides and attractions were very expensive, and we asked the boys to choose their rides wisely, which they did do. One thing we have noticed on this Wednesday night, that it is absolutely freezing. We had to just leave because Phoenix was getting so very cold, and he looked like he was quite poorly actually. So we're walking back to Sophia car park in Cardiff, having had a really nice time at Winter Wonderland. We've had an attempt to get some food, but it failed miserably. So we're walking back and hoping that Sammy has been okay for a couple of hours in the motorhome. Fingers crossed. My fingers are very cold. I'm a bit nervous about this because we haven't left Sammy for quite so long in the motorhome or not. The last time we left him for 3 hours, he did wreck one of our doors in our home. He's in his bed. Oh, good boy. Good boy, Sammy. The dog didn't destroy anything. We've seen our friends, we surprised the children. But all in all, it was a good trip.
Absolutely.
But thank you for coming on our journey, we really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you Cardiff for finishing off what was a wonderful little road trip for us. From here, under the cover of darkness, we headed back to Hampshire, racking up a total of 530 miles at a cost of £170. But after a couple of days rest, we couldn't resist visiting just one more Christmas market.
Hello.
We're in Salisbury and welcome to
Escaping the Motorhome.
There's nothing festive about this whatsoever. Roads are closed, massive amounts of works, we can't get into the car park, we're late for our cathedral booking and it's traffic chaos. No thank you, this is not festive at all. Oh look boys, swans. Oh, I bet they're chilly. Wow. Fast moving today. Well, this looks pedestrianised. It might not be. Oh look, Phoenix and Etty. Remember Roldy's Fudge Pantry? We went there at Hastings. Oh, sheep above there. Right, let's hope there's someone really kind at the cathedral that's going to let us in even though we're horribly late. Oh, there we go. The tallest spire in the United Kingdom. Can you see it, guys? Just hope they're going to let us in because we're about 20 minutes late now. Just have to walk across town and hope that Daz finds a place to park the motorhome.
Wow, what a funny old morning it's been already. So we rushed around the house, left a bit late. We had to be in Salisbury for a 1 o'clock appointment at the cathedral. We got to the car park that looks suitable for motorhomes. Just as I hit bottom on my fuel tank and we hit 1 o'clock when we should be inside the cathedral, it was rammed. So we dropped the kids off. I've managed to limp down the road to a petrol station where I'm sat now, trying to find some suitable motorhome parking in Salisbury. But man, oh man, weekend, Christmas, it's really, really busy, really, really busy. So as great as it is to be in Salisbury on a lovely sunny day like today, at the moment I'm stuck in a petrol station car park trying to figure out how to get back into town. Things can only get better, right?
As Salisbury basked in the December sun, we admired the cathedral, the jewel in the city's crown. It's built in the shape of a cross for obvious reasons, and the spire weighs a hefty 6,500 tonnes. So we're in Salisbury Cathedral now, and the children are looking for hidden Christmas angels.
So I've just been on the Parkopedia app, which looked like there was loads of parking available, but as soon as I filtered down to the height, it pretty much took away everything. So what I'm going to do is head back to the other side of Salisbury, which is going to take about 12 minutes to go a couple of miles, to the B&Q car park, because I bought a mains electric hookup adapter and then immediately found the one that I had lost. So I'm going to go and return that and then jump on my phone and figure out how the heck I'm going to get into the centre of Salisbury.
This very clever little building, if you press a button, so this is a blacksmith forge, it lights up, shows you what's going on inside. So to build this huge cathedral, it took 38 years in the 13th century. Yeah, well, not this cathedral, no, this is them building it, but it took them to build this big cathedral, 38 years. The cathedral's font is designed by William Pye and was installed in 2008. It shows two aspects of water together, stillness on the surface and movement at the spout. So we're just taking a toilet break, and this is the angel trail that we're doing. We found two of the angels, and now we've got to find the third, and I think it's in the stained glass. Salisbury only has 4 feet of foundations beneath it, and the stones were laid on the 28th of April 1220. Strange, semicircular chest. Let's see what it is. It's a cope chest. It's a long piece of cloak that's originally made to keep a priest warm and dry. Fancy that, they get all of that chest just to keep their clothes in. It's bigger than my wardrobe. Why are they your favourites then, boys? They're very nice, aren't they? I think I like that one best because it looks like snowflakes.
I literally just said that.
We were also lucky enough to see an orchestra in rehearsal on our visit. Really interesting sculptures. This one, it's all made from plastic bottles, but illuminated. It's very pretty. Well, we were just reading about the anemometer, which measures wind speed, which apparently is in excess of 100 miles per hour sometimes. Found the next angel. And look, I can see in the stained glass the story of Jesus. And right in the bottom left is Jesus in the manger with Mary and Joseph.
So here we are at B&Q, and I've managed to squeeze into this space thanks to the overhang. But that's close. Maybe I need a camera underneath. I tell you what, this cold weather doesn't half make me laugh. This morning I couldn't empty the grey waste onto the garden because the tap was frozen. Just now I thought I'll just use the loo before I pop into B&Q where I'm parked up at the moment. And the water pump, I'm thinking the water pump's not working for some reason. I'm guessing it's frozen. And a bag of water that I put aside as some emergency water for our last trip, which I was keeping in the shower tray, has actually got ice floating around in it.
Oh, poor Daz. Meanwhile, we were admiring the oldest complete set of choir stalls in England. We found our fourth angel. Apparently, these are the oldest complete set of chairs in England, and Henry III commissioned them from 30 oak trees. The strings you can hear from the orchestra rehearsing was our soundtrack as we ambled about this amazing space full of treasures, wonders and world records, though we never spotted the world's oldest clock, which doesn't have a face, just chimes on the hour. It's also somewhere in the cathedral. We spotted the last angel, though we have managed to skip a couple. Gosh, this is a sinister thing. So William Longsby, whose tomb is right here, some say that he was murdered because he died as soon as he ate a meal. They exhumed his body and went inside his tomb, and they found a rat, a dead rat, inside his skull, and the rat was filled with arsenic poison. So maybe he was poisoned. This is the bumping stone. When a new boy chorister joins the choir, his head is gently bumped 7 times on this stone to mark his official entry. It's a bit brutal, doesn't it, this bumping stone? Apparently it's a tradition that's been going on for hundreds of years, but it's pretty worn away now. And if it's a girl chorister, she doesn't get bumped on the stone, she just gets bumped on the head with a book, a prayer book. Well, after all that exploring, it was time for some refreshments. On a cold day like this, we definitely need to have a nice hot coffee. This one's with oat milk. Are you warming up, boys?
Yeah.
And you got some nice stickers for your trail, didn't you?
Yeah.
You got a snowman, and what did you get? You got a snowman too. Nice. Wow, that's a nice view for your lunch.
The highest spider in the world.
Or the highest spider in the world. There might be a spider on the spire, and that'll be the highest spider in the world.
Yeah.
Just proving I can't be trusted. If we're going to stick a Home Bargains next to a B&Q, then I'm going in the Home Bargains too. And I think my healthy diet has disappeared out the window today. Still, it's stress relieving food, yeah, for Salisbury town centre.
Very last bit of my battery power is going to be used on looking at the Magna Carta. So in here they've got one of the 4 remaining parchments of the original Magna Carta. So it's an agreement made on June the 15th, 1215 between King John of England and his barons. It was forced upon the king. It limited his powers and set in place the principle that nobody was above the law, not even the king himself. Its importance has grown over the centuries, making it a symbol for the fight for civil rights across the world. So let's go and see if we can find the Magna Carta in here. Why do you think it's covered up? It's more not just about the air, it could be about what's shining into the building now. The sunlight, and what happens when sunlight is on something for a long time.
It burns it.
It could fade it. Sometimes when you have the sides of books that are exposed to sunlight, they fade. So they've kept the Magna Carta in here because it's such an ancient piece of paper. Surviving originals, just 4 of perhaps 40 original Magna Cartas written in 1215 survive. The Salisbury Magna Carta displayed here is the best preserved. Of the other 3, one is owned by Lincoln Cathedral and kept at Lincoln Castle, and 2 are kept by the British Library in London. So it says here, in 1217, when a separate and smaller Charter of the Forest was issued alongside the revised 1215 document, originally known as the Charter of Liberties. The bigger document became known as the Great Charter, which translates to the Magna Carta in Latin. I just heard a really good story. We just went in to see the Magna Carta, which was incredibly well preserved, one of the 4 remaining, and it's in the best condition. And a lady spoke to us afterwards, and she was telling us a story about a lady that was a librarian, and she used to take, in the 1940s and possibly up to the 1960s, she used to roll up the Magna Carta and take it home to look after for safekeeping every night on her bicycle. So what is now laid out in a darkened tent in the charter room used to be rolled up and taken home on the back of a librarian's bicycle every night so that it kept safe, and it's still in almost pristine condition. I think that's a great story. After a brilliant couple of hours exploring, it was time to find Daz. I hope he's been having fun.
Right, well, I'm heading into Salisbury. It is pretty busy in town. I've left Stampy in the B&Q car park. Now it just says there's no parking restrictions, it just says customer parking. And I've been a customer of theirs a lot over the years, as much as last week. Bee's about to run out of power on her phone, so we've agreed a meeting place in town. Power seems to be the issue again today. We're trying to transfer files onto the hard drive in the van earlier, and the laptop just about ran out of power. So running out of power, running out of fuel. Still, the Christmas zing in the streets is keeping us happy. Little friend for Santa.
They're about to put a snow machine on. The boys are going to love this. It's snowing! It's nice warm snow. Oh darling, you're covered in snow. It's even in your...
It's dandruff.
It's even in your eyebrows.
You're covered.
Get it on your tongue. No, don't. I wouldn't need this snow.
Probably more than 100 likes.
How's everybody? Saturday going?
Sentence. This is me in the south of France in June. That's what I want for Christmas.
Welcome, welcome. How are you? Nice to see you. Bye guys. Okay guys, welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Minecraft is very cool. Split up next to me, please. Well done. Do you know what it's really useful for? Telling the time.
Well, we finished in Salisbury and we just thought it was the most magical place. After that awful start with the car park, it completely changed our feelings about it. It's beautifully decorated, there's so much history, so much character, the most wonderful, wonderful array of shops, and it just feels like they've got it right.
Yes, so with that said, Have a very Merry Christmas.
And a very Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2023 for more motorhome adventures.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes, thanks for your views and words of wisdom over the last 6 months. And until our next escape, thanks for watching.